If the majority of listings on page 1 have less than 1,000 reviews, does that indicate too little demand? For example, there's a product where only 2 of the listings on page 1 have over 1,000 reviews, and both of those listings are from the same brand, just different variations of the product. The rest of the review counts are pretty low. What are your thoughts on that? I'm going to pull up right here. I just pulled up a random product. Let me share my screen here with you guys. And this may not be the best example of a product. I literally just, I don't know how this came to my head for this specific product, but I searched for curlers, hair curlers, stuff like that. So if I was doing product research and I was thinking about hair curlers, and let's just pretend, because like I said, this might not be the best example, but it seemed like it was decent. So just like glancing at reviews, I'm not even really glancing at the products themselves. I understand that like this product right here is very different than like this product. But if I'm just like glancing at review counts here on the first page of the search results, here's some high ones. There's a couple high ones on here, but there are some decently low review counts on here for some products. Now, if I was looking at this and I was saying, okay, we're on page 1 for curlers, and I'm seeing listings on here that have, far less than 1,000 reviews, is that an indication of too little demand? Like, is this a poor product line to go into because there's just not quite that much demand? What my answer to that would be is to make sure that you're checking the keyword search data as well, and checking just Jungle Scout sales data in general, just to get a good idea of what it is that you're going up against, I guess, if you do decide you want to go down this route. So we could load our Jungle Scout Chrome extension and just get a feel for what are the sales like for this product. I understand that the reviews for, these ones that we were looking at kind of right through here are, 500, 189, 185. That's not crazy high, but what are the sales like for those types of products? So this one right here, I believe is this one. 189 reviews are selling around 31 units a day. That's pretty dang solid, honestly, for a listing with 189 reviews that's only 4 stars. So that's a good indication to me. And then let's look at this one right underneath. This one right underneath, which is this 185, is selling around 6 units a day. Definitely not quite as good, but not terrible. Not terrible for 185 4-star reviews. So, I mean, both of those numbers right there are, again, we're only looking at 2 listings. I would want to spend much more time on this, but coming through, and we could load, a bunch more listings here. I could click load more results and look a lot more, but I could sort by rating number and look at the low reviews. If you've seen the YouTube videos, you've seen this, you've seen me kind of go through this where we sort by reviews. We're looking at like the lower review counts here and trying to see like what are their daily sales like, what are their monthly sales like. Is it a relevant product, obviously, to like what you're thinking of selling? So I'd want to make sure I am looking at relevant stuff, because some of this is like a heated curler and some of these are just like plastic curlers, clips, things. But just like taking a really quick glance at this, I'm seeing even with low review counts, we are getting pretty good daily sales, pretty good monthly sales. That's pretty dang solid for this low of a review count. I also want to look at the brands though. So I'm seeing, first of all, really good sign. And we're actually going to talk a little bit more about this in another question that was asked, but it's a really good sign when we're seeing different brands. So we're seeing different brand, different brand, different brand, different brand, different brand. A lot of these brands are kind of looking like Chinese brands. That's another good sign because we feel confident that we can create a better brand, do better branding than these Chinese competitors, higher quality. So I'm liking that I'm seeing multiple brands here. If they were all the same brand, that's a big red flag to me. I'm seeing pretty solid daily sales, even with the low review counts. So all those things are good. So from first glance, just like looking and seeing, okay, page 1, a lot of listings have less than 1,000 reviews. Is that too little demand? I'm seeing good sales, so I'm feeling good about it. And then my point that I was going to make was about the keyword search is you can come over here to Jungle Scout, go into the keyword scout, type in the core keywords. You can type in curlers, you can type in hair rollers, and just look at what the search volume is. So for hair rollers, that's I think the top searched keyword for this type of product. 141,000 in 30 days is a lot. That is a lot. That's a great search volume. Hair curlers, 105, that's great. And then curlers, 32, that's still great. All these numbers are fantastic. You're seeing a lot of green percentages for growth for 90 days and 30 days. All good things here. I'm seeing all great signs here for hair curlers. Now, I'm obviously not a woman and I don't use hair curlers. My hair is much too short to put curlers in. But this is interesting to me to see like all this growth and like the search trend. I don't know if like is something happening in pop culture where like hair curlers are a thing again, because I feel like maybe my mom used them when I was like 4 years old and then they just completely died off and it was not cool to use hair curlers. But I don't know, is it cool again to have hair curlers? These are the types of questions that I personally am asking myself if I was exploring this product line, because I would want to know just from like a trending, a pop culture, like what's happening. Is this like going crazy on TikTok? I would want to make sure I'm in the loop with all this kind of stuff. You can do searches on Google Trends to see, are hair rollers, are hair curlers, like is it trending up? What is there stuff in the news that's happening? Did some celebrity use hair curlers and now all of a sudden they're taking off? I want to know all this information. I want to know the numbers, obviously, like we're looking at numbers right now, but I want to know all the behind the scenes stuff too, just in like like I said, like in the news, in culture, in social media trends, like what's going on with hair curlers right now, because I don't want to get caught in like a super quick fad where, it could take me 4 to 6 months to get this product off the ground. And like, is this just a fad that's going to be dead in 6 months? Is this something that's coming back? Like, what is the deal with hair curlers? So that's kind of like the way I would go through about this if I was looking at a product and I was seeing low review counts, is first look at the Jungle Scout data. Are they getting sales with low reviews? If they're getting the sales, then it's like, well, great. Let's look at, I'd probably, want to go a little bit more in depth. Let's look at sales history. Let's look at how their sales have been over, last 12 months. I'm looking at Google Trends. I'm looking at Jungle Scout keyword search. Like, are people actually searching for this? And so if kind of all those things kind of all line up where I feel like it's not a fad, it's here to stay, or it's a growing market, I'm seeing that people are searching for it, and I'm seeing that people are getting sales even with these low review counts, then to me, honestly, that looks like a great opportunity. So that's kind of the process, I guess, I would go about doing that. And just for reference, just to let you guys in on a little behind the scenes here, I was just showing you guys Jungle Scout keyword search data for hair rollers, hair curlers, hair rollers, 141,000 searches in the last 30 days. Just for reference, when we started selling dog bandanas back in, when was it, 2019, the monthly searches was like 25,000. I just typed it in right now. Dog bandanas, 30-day search volume, 33,000. 150,000 searches for hair curlers versus 33,000 for dog bandanas. And if you're wondering, right now we only sell dog bandanas and we sold over $1.5 million last year with 33,000 search volume per month. So hopefully that kind of shows that like you don't really need that much search volume to sell a lot of product. Like if the search volume for dog bandanas was 150,000 searches per month, we probably would have sold like $5 million last year. So keep that in mind. You can make a lot of money and sell a lot of product with not very many searches. People forget that. Like people, I think we get caught up too much in looking for like, oh, where's like the super high search volume, the super high demand products that like have 200,000 searches. Like if I were to I know that I'm not sharing my screen anymore, but if I were to type in keyword scout here, iPhone case, I'll share my screen again because we might be here on the screen for a sec. If I were to type in iPhone case, so iPhone case itself isn't super high, but check out iPhone 11 and 13 and 12 case. Check that search volume. Freaking insane. 2.6 million searches every 30 days. That is absolutely insane. Considering, like I said, dog bandanas gets 30,000 searches a month and we sold 1.5 million off 30,000 searches. So imagine how much, like, obviously imagine how much money is out there in iPhone cases with 2.6 million searches. Obviously it's extremely competitive. I mean, that's a given. We know that. But kind of my point being is like everyone is looking for like these types of products. Like, oh, I want to find a product that has 100,000 searches in the last 30 days and super high demand. And It's like, guys, do not forget that products that are like a little bit more niche down, not quite as competitive, you can still make a lot of money selling those products. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, demand is good. Like demand is good. Like it means people are buying your product. But with higher demand like this, definitely comes a lot higher competition. Not saying it can't be done, but it's going to be a lot more competitive. You're going to have to execute a lot better. Price is going to become much more of a factor. But if you can like niche down and kind of find the smaller sub niches, subcategories within that category. I know I'm scrolling right now on iPhone cases. I'm not sure that I'm gonna find something specific, but like a clear iPhone case, 17,000 searches. That's still a market. Like 17,000 searches to me is still a market that's like, hey, I could feel good about that. If it was like 7,000 or like 5,000 searches, and I'm like, maybe not really worth my time. But anything over like 10,000 searches, it really depends on, what your goals are. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answers that question as far as looking at, I know that was kind of a long answer to that question, but looking at products that have competitors with less than 1,000 reviews.